Hello, Cam. How you doing tonight?
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Ohio. Oh, wait, they lost, didn't they?
I would have no idea.
Sports ball, right?
This is about games.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, about games, not sports.
So what are we doing here? What is this show anyway?
Oh, well, let's see. My name is Death Angel Shadow. Some people call me Jeff. I don't know why. I think it's something to be with
It's just something we came up with.
Yeah, yeah. Any rate, and you are the man of mystery. Um,
Look at that cloak I'm wearing.
somewhere on the primordial plane of existence. I love that cloak, man. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty
Nice.
sweet. So yeah, we've got a guy that's going to talk about a book and some stuff he's working on, and oh, I don't know, we might hit up some other interesting topics. So I am going to go ahead and bring on Mr. Glen Hallstrom. And hello,
Hello.
how are you doing,
Welcome.
Glen?
I'm doing fine. They call you Jeff, huh?
Well,
Because you look like a Jeff.
no, thanks. Well, I used to
And
think I was the only Jeff, but apparently a lot of other ones out there.
spelled with a G, right?
No, 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 no. I'm
Okay.
not Geo. I'm not Geoff.
Okay.
Any rate,
This man is a regular on quite a few of our live streams.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, we're competing against one of them tonight. But
Oh, it's just Eric and Joe the lawyer.
I
Hi
know
guys out there.
we'll catch them on
We'll,
replay.
we'll wave at them when they go by.
Yeah, and they can catch the show on replay, hopefully.
Yeah, what the hey?
Um,
The hey?
so I heard you wrote a book or something.
You know, yeah, I heard that too. That's weird, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And
I
and
mean,
here, and here it is.
oh my, you look at that. You already have a copy of
I
it and
already
everything.
have a copy, thanks to my wife.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
she
that the
just
one that came?
no that came earlier. It's like she handed it to me. It's like, why did you order it? I'm getting a case from the publisher.
Oh, let me change this here. We're gonna do
But that's okay. I wanted to see it. It's a lot nicer than I thought it was. I
yeah,
mean, he did a really good job on here. That's 200 pages right there.
that's pretty good.
And
And it's
yeah,
available on Amazon.
it is.
Hopefully,
Soon on Barnes and Noble and Books a Million, as soon as they clear it, I guess, and soon also Amazon still has to okay it for Kindle
right for the
yeah
e-readers.
for the yeah for that yes EPUB
Give,
that's
give us the lowdown on the book. What's your inspiration? Your
oh
purpose?
it's just a bunch of BS and it's like well what I did was okay time to tell a story. I told the story in the intro, but I'll tell the story here. I wrote this 10 years ago, and I wrote it for National Novel Writing Month when they were still doing that. And I finished 3 days early. And this is, you have to do, in case anybody doesn't know about it, because it's not around anymore, but National Novel Writing Month, you have to write a novel in a month. Actually, this is what's called a novella. There's a lot of famous books that are novellas, but it's basically 50,000 words in 31 days, or 30 days, rather.
Yeah.
And so I finished on the 27th, and then I did two more drafts after the contest was over. I don't even know why I did it, because I used to hate writing, because my writing was really bad. My penmanship is lousy. And this was before typewriters. This was before
I was going to say the kids these days don't even know about handwriting.
I know, back in school when I had to write a report, I said, oh God, they're never going to be able to read it. But I just did it as a bet to myself, let's try this out. Let's see if it works. And so I did it. I did 2 revisions afterwards. And then in the middle of the third one, I got bored and I just took it. I was working off a hard copy. I just took it and stuck it in a drawer.
Yeah.
And then when I got this computer a few years ago, I was looking at backing stuff up. I got a couple of external hard drives here, and I found it. I found it on my hard drive. And it's like, wow, this is still here. And so at the time, I've been doing this live stream a lot with Eric, Tenkar, and others. And a gentleman by the name of Don Samora was on one of the live streams. He does a live stream on Thursdays, and sometimes he's on, I get involved. We have a regular show every other Friday, but sometimes I get involved with a couple of the other shows. So Don was on there, and I don't know what we were talking about, something gaming related or something like that. And I happened to they mentioned something about people writing books. I said, well, I wrote a book once. And Don goes, oh, really? I said, yeah, it's sitting here right here on my hard drive. He says, why don't you send it to me? I'd like to read it. And I said, okay, because he read it. He loved it. He asked me if I wanted him to publish it. I didn't know he was the head of Wizard Tower Games at the time.
Right.
And so there it is. He absolutely went crazy over it. I was surprised because he was the first person who ever wanted to read the whole book. Everybody else is, oh, just send me a chapter. All right, I'll just look at it. And, you know how that is. People don't get around to looking at it and all that. So it's like, that's partly why I stuck it in the drawer.
Okay.
I wrote a book just to say I wrote a book. Okay, fine. I did it. So this is out now. This is out on the usual. And also, these are going to be physical copies in like Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. So you can order it many, many ways. Okay, what is the book about? Tell me when I'm talking too much, because I don't know. I took a fantasy story, and basically my conceit was, what if Raymond Chandler wrote a fantasy novel?
Right.
Because I love, Raymond Chandler, Dashiell Hammett, hard-boiled detective stuff, film noir. And so I had these three characters I already had. In fact, the main one I played in D&D before.
Right.
And so I took them and I say, okay, let's do a murder mystery. And afterwards, in the middle of it, I was kicking myself. Why did you have to pick the hardest genre out there? Because as I was typing it, I was trying to make it make sense.
Right.
Because I said, okay, I got an idea to go with, but then in the middle of the book, it's like, okay, this is going here. This is going. I was driving myself crazy, basically, trying to write it. Me, never been a writer before, other than I've wrote D&D adventures and things like that.
Right. Right.
And
I was gonna say we'll get into that in a little bit too.
Yeah, and so I took the three characters, and what's funny was he read it. He said he loved it. I reread it to see if I had to do any more drafts. I did like 2 more drafts after that. And when I read it, I'm reading it, and I just go, who the hell wrote this? This is good. What the hell? It's like I was like standing outside of myself looking at it. It was weird. And there's some humor in it, and there's a lot of action in it. And I think people are going to like it. I think people are really going to like it. I'm hoping to make it a series.
Okay.
Well, that's why it's A Lumper's Adventure by Glen Hallstrom. And you can tell when you read it, you can tell I play D&D,
Yeah.
Because I'm not a Tolkien. I'm not any of the other fantasy writers. I'm just me. And this is what I've used. It basically is the adventures of the Lumpers, which is the adventuring group that I have, the 3 guys. And it's all written first person. LoJack, the fighter, is the main. He's the narrator. It's first person, just like Philip Marlowe, something like that.
That's cool.
And it's a I admit it's a self-insert.
That's all right.
LoJack is me who always wanted to play Philip Marlowe, and I know I'm never going to get a chance. So,
I got a quick question for you.
yeah, go ahead.
So I don't know the characters
Right.
you're talking about, but is he coloring things like from his own perspective heavily? Meaning, like, is he are there conflicts between the characters that he's like?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes. Each of them are types. I mean, this is me, and it's probably a more cynical me. And we also it's the usual. It's a human, dwarf, and elf.
Okay.
That's it. LoJack, his name is LoJack the Lumper, and people say, why is his middle name? It's short for Theodore, and he runs a place. I've got a character, Byron Craddock, who is a very fastidious elf who takes care of the magic part of the group. And then I have Dinkus. Dinkus is the dwarf. And he's basically like a mechanical genius. And so I just roll around with them, got some more, NPCs. See, I talk like a gamer, NPCs. And, I just threw them into the story and see what they did. And it's like one of my favorite things. I found this out earlier I like good character interaction.
Mm-hmm.
I like good dialogue. I like snappy dialogue. So that's what I was kind of concentrating on. In fact, it was so snappy and so funny that Don said when he first read it, twice he had liquid going through his nose when he laughed so hard.
That's fun. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
This is interesting because I'll just have a short little story here, and then let's get back to it.
Sure.
But the same kind of thing. I had a game that I played with a group of people when I was young, in junior high through college. And and recently I'm cleaning up stuff, and I've got all these notebooks. I used to take notes, obviously, for the games and such. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, am I throwing this away? Who is ever going to want to see this crap? Right. It's like, yeah, me, I looked through it one more time and it's garbage. And I said, maybe it would be fun to like just take that and write it up as if it was a first person account, like you're talking about, and then just leave it somewhere. Yeah. It's like someone discovers this thing. It's like, what is this?
Leave it on a bus bench or something and see what happens. Put your name on it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise, again, it's, nobody wants to read like notes from a game. But you fictionalize it and you make it interesting. And like you said, funny.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's cool.
I want to say I can't find the category it's in, but it can easily fit into either, detective or fantasy. So I'm hitting more than one genre on here, which kind of makes me happy because I want to be able to be versatile.
So you're the next Jim Butcher.
Don't know.
Dresden Files.
Okay. See, this is why I was so surprised to write this book, is because I don't really read fiction.
Yeah.
Fantasy or otherwise. I have read a few things.
Yeah.
I'm, Appendix N in the AD&D book. I look at that and I go, I think I've read one author in there. Lovecraft. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I like Lovecraft, Lewis Carroll, and Sherlock Holmes.
Well, those are classics.
Oh, and
it's a good start.
Raymond Chandler. Yeah. But I'm just not one who can sit there and devour a book in an evening.
So do you have a main protagonist in the book then that is the perspective that you're looking at things from?
LoJack.
And let's put it in D&D terms here, or tabletop terms.
Mm-hmm.
What class is he? What is he?
He is a straight
fighter. You said
he's a straight fighter.
He's a straight up fighter. Okay.
He's a straight up fighter, and the way I play him, other than what I've already told you, is, to me, he's the working class fighter.
Right.
I played him in games before, and every time, the group's going to go do something and somebody wants them to do something, we're going to give you money, blah, blah, blah. It's always like, okay, let me draw a contract. We'll do this right. da 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 da. It's almost like if he, to use a modern term, it's almost like he takes a time card with him, and he's got a machine. When he goes to the office, he's okay. I'm on the clock. Okay, I'm off the clock. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's got that mindset. The backstory of LoJack is he was raised by his father owns warehouses. And his father's a warehouseman. In fact, LoJack's ultimate goal, you know, in his retiring, he wants to own a couple of warehouses like his dad.
Okay.
And LoJack, I think I got off of, was it that I stole the name from that thing you put, it's supposed to anti-theft thing you put on your steering wheel.
Yeah.
They're called LoJack. I remember that on the radio. And then a lumper is a guy who loads and unloads trucks. So I just, LoJack the lumper.
So he's a LoJack the lumper. Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
I said that. In fact, I named his father Ratjack the lumper.
Yeah.
And now I just came up with a younger brother called Bill Jack. There's a theme going here, I think.
Yeah.
But
so lumping is the family business.
Pretty much. In I don't know my second book, but one of my books, I'm going to be introducing his father, and he has kind of an adversarial relationship with his father. You know, right. One of those kind of things where he thinks I'm doing something stupid and dangerous, and why you know, make some real money, go work in a warehouse or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
And so we'll see where that goes.
Now the setting for this is something that you also created, that you.
It's my D&D campaign world.
Yeah, I think
Earth. And I picked a town. They're in a town called Puddleton. In fact, I was just looking through the book. This evening, and it's like I mentioned they were going north of Fortunata. Well, Fortunata is way down south. I got to fix that. It's like ever since I wrote this book, I've been going through and I go, okay, does the landscape match what I was talking about?
Right.
And I went through and like redid a few things on the map and things like that. And I also had I posted this on Dragon's Foot or Reddit. I can't remember. I posted the map. Okay, so I told them about the book and all that kind of stuff and the link. But I posted the map. The first comment I got was, "Rivers don't work that way." And it's like, well, okay. I assumed the water was running down. And I looked at it again, and I noticed I have an ice cap up here, but nothing leading out of it. It's off to the side, and it's like, well, maybe he's got a point there, because it's got to come. Yeah, there it is. Like where it says the Scorch Lands, above that's ice, and that's like the northern place nobody's been. But you see where Lobster Tail is? That's the closest thing to that, and. I'm no expert on maps, but that's my logic I'm using. I have a really nice campaign for this map too that I've run. I think the last time I did was Swords and Wizardry, but I have a campaign called the Cattle Drive.
Okay.
And what it is the player characters are hired to be a scout troubleshooters for a cattle drive of 200 head of cattle. They got to get from Lobster Tail all the way over to Satan's Fist, that small town at the bottom there. And it's 200 head of cattle. And basically they go out a week before the cattle drive leaves, and they pave the way and make sure whatever's happening, they fix or just sort of smooth the way so they can drive the cattle. And I loved it. First time I ran it, I loved it because, and I picked I've got a town here. They're going to be in this town. They're going to be in that area through the mountains. Okay, I picked like 4 areas before they got to Satan's Fist.
Right.
And it's like, this is great. I can drop anything in those areas. I can run this campaign for a lot of groups, and I can change it up. I can put stuff I've wrote. I can put stuff from Dungeon Magazine. I can put modules in there. And it's one of the most flexible things I ever came up with. I absolutely loved it. And the first time I read it, it was really nice. Eisenhouse, that's the town. It was drawn to Eisenhouse. And it's interesting because Eisenhouse, their lord is in Castle Stonewolf, Beauregard Stonewolf. And he's a vampire. He's a vampire who doesn't want to be a vampire. So he struck a deal with the town.
Okay.
I'll buy X amount of head of cattle. You drain the blood, give it to me. You can have the rest. And so they like him. They love him.
So you got the whole. Now, did you draw the map yourself, or did?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Oh, wow.
Although I always read my signature's right there. I always do a caveat on this because this was not based on something I did. I mean, it's based on something I did, but this map, I changed it a lot. Like that whole yodeling wood, that wasn't there. I put a forest in there.
Right.
I changed it from a map. Okay. A lot of my OSR stuff on the shelf there came from one place, Half Price Books.
Yeah.
And I bought a copy of the 2nd edition Player's Handbook for AD&D. And somebody left their map in there. And it was a nice map. And it's like, okay, this is going to be my map, only I'm going to make it mine.
Right.
And so I just tooled it. I mean, the Yodeling Wood wasn't there. Lunker Lake wasn't there. The mountains were there. But yeah, I did this. I can't even remember when I did this. But yeah, that's what I use now for all my stuff. It doesn't matter what fantasy rules I'm using. I use this.
Right.
I came up with another one called the Orange Coast. That's just a small section of coast and somewhere in a fantasy world. I use that for conventions and one-shots, just to say, okay, we need a place. Here's a place. I don't have my regular map with me. Here it is. So that's what I did.
Trying to find a good view here for this. So now this map is not in the book, right?
No, it is not.
It is not.
We didn't manage to get that in there. We just wanted to get the book out.
Right,
you know?
right.
I mean, I start writing more of them. I can always put the map back in there.
Yeah. Well, it was a pretty quick turnaround too. I mean,
it was. I was surprised. I mean, I said, okay, I told him, I said, okay, you got it. What's the timeline? He said, about a month.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I was watching that stream. And I think was it one of the Vlog-a-Many things?
Yeah, I think it was. That's Don's show. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you were on there. Eric was on there, and
yep.
And
Jim
Don said,
was on there.
Yeah, Jim was on there, and Don was like, send me the book. Send me the was it the manuscript or what?
Yeah, I'll send you the manuscript. Sure.
Yeah.
I've got the text file. Yeah.
And and of course Don is Wizard Tower Games.
Yeah, he's like Mr. All-in-One.
Yeah,
he's got his own printing setup.
Oh wow! Okay.
But the most remarkable thing about this is, this was not done by his print shop, because he had an accident in the warehouse and he's still covering for it. So he had to get a third-party printer for this, and it still came out in a month.
That's amazing.
What happened? Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, so that was not printed by Amazon. Then it was.
No. I don't. In fact, does it say on here?
Does it have the printer on there?
It's got an ISDN. Let me get my glasses and take a look here. U.S. Blah blah blah. No, it just credits Wizard Tower. Let me look in the front. See if it says here. Published by Wizard Tower Games.
I mean, you know,
I don't know who did it, but it was somebody local.
yeah,
And
somebody local to him.
Local to him, yeah.
Yeah.
He's in Battle Creek,
right, up in Michigan.
Yeah, and so it was local to him. And what happened was his warehouse got damaged because the warehouse next to him caught on fire.
Right. He didn't have fire in his, but
yeah, he didn't have any fire, but it triggered all the smoke alarm,
the sprinklers,
the sprinklers, and he got a lot of stuff ruined.
Right.
And the nice thing about his stuff is also that he has a supply of local paper. He doesn't have to go to China to get it printed or import paper and stuff like that. He's got a local supplier. So that means you're not only getting it, says put it in the United States of America. Not only that, but you're getting it at a good price, $10.99. That's a steal as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that, and you've gamed. How long have you been gaming with that map?
With that map, let's see. I've been here about 20 years.
So you got to have some stories then that you can pull from.
I wish I did. I really don't do anything with this until I'm running a game. I mean, but the thing, because I'm the kind of GM that's like, I want the players to flesh it out.
Yeah.
And so the stuff I come up with, I just make notes. Like I told you, the vampire and the town, that was all from gaming. The guy, the vampire who runs the town, the Count, I mean, he hates being a vampire. He loathes being a vampire. But his grandfather, who's a vampire, turned him into a vampire. And so he has to deal with it. He hates drinking blood. So he mixes it. He has Bloody Mary. So he's like always kind of halfway drunk. So I have a drunken vampire wandering around. There's the one in there. There's in the forest, in the middle of the forest, there's a place called Kayardoon. And I put that in there and I said, this town was built by elves and rangers. And it looks it because all of the, all the buildings and stuff they kind of merge in with the forest.
Yeah.
So, I got that kind of feeling. I've got this kind of feeling over here.
So what is the setting kind of medieval fantasy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medieval fantasy with black powder.
Yeah.
For all those old guys. No. But
what, not smoke powder?
Yeah, black powder. I like. Thank you, man. Thank you, dear. Little Sonic drink. No, black powder. I put it in there because I don't see what's wrong with having guns in a fantasy world as long as it's the right type of gun.
Yeah.
Because I like to, the old
blunderbusses and
blunderbusses, ball and cap and ball, that kind of thing. LoJack, when he was running in my Monday group, my friend Carlos runs a 5e game in Eberron, and so I put him in Eberron, and he runs around with a bandolero with like 4 or 5 guns on it because they're just like put the thing in, put the powder in, all that other stuff, and it's like, bam, one shot, and then he goes in with the sword.
So you basically you literally blow your load and then you're back to melee, regular.
Yeah,
melee
that's basically what it was for. I mean, it was like practically all like, just bunch of noise and hope you hit type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shock and awe. That it scares the enemy to death more than anything else.
Oh yeah.
That's the way it was. And it worked. To me, it works. And my other argument was you gotta have guns in there. How else are you gonna do a good pirate?
Well, I was getting ready to ask. I said, so then if by extension, if you've got black powder, you would have ships that have cannonballs.
Yeah, because I like running. I like running pirates.
Now, is this a high mage or a high magic or a low magic setting?
To me, it all depends on what you decide high magic is,
Right.
because I see it as like a everyday thing. Nothing real fancy or anything like that. But to me, it's like, the working class has some. There are minor magic. In fact, in the book, they use what they call talk stones. And you tap the talk stone, say who you want to talk to, and the other person who has the talk stone, it's basically a walkie-talkie or something like that.
Right.
And, I did some limitations. In my world, stones, like on the ground, can be enchanted with a certain amount of magical power, depending on what you want to do with them. I had a mage that would invent stuff that anybody could use, but it's powered by these stones. That's one of the things they can do. You can cast like a first level, second level, third level, whatever level. And basically, I think the higher the level, the bigger the stone. You can pack a couple in there, something like that. I didn't want to make it real ridiculous, but I just want to give some kind of utility. To me, it's utility magic for the most part.
Is there a particular system that you prefer running in that setting? Or
I just run D&D or any of the clones.
Which any particular edition?
I've used Osric, Basic D&D, AD&D, Labyrinth Lord, Swords and Wizardry, because to me, they all kind of work the same.
Yeah.
I'm also into Hyperborea, but when I run Hyperborea, I usually run it in Hyperborea. And I love that system because at one time I said, I'm just going to use this for everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in Hyperborea. All I have to do is add like demi-humans, dwarves, elves, things like that. And I can take that straight out of the first edition AD&D book, and it works.
Yeah.
Because, okay, now you got me on a rant about Hyperborea.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'll talk your ear off about Hyperborea.
Telanian's on my list.
Okay. You've seen the books, right?
I have not had the chance to look at them yet.
Okay. What I like about it is he really bent it into a pulp fantasy, a Howard type thing. But at the same time, it's got that flavor that I like. One thing I really like about it is there are no demi-humans. It's all human. Okay.
Right.
There are different types of humans, but it's mainly for role playing and stuff. He's all from over here. He's a Pict. He's a Hyperborean. That kind of thing. But so that means there are no races except human. But they give you, and there is no like multi-classing, dual classing. People like that. And I said, just try it. If you have to multi-class and stuff, there are 26 classes in that game. And the way they do it is the progression of the classes is just, it really works. I always say, look, if you can't find something to play in those classes, you should go play another game. Because I've done a lot of stuff. My friends when I started playing this with my friends, they were going crazy.
Right.
Because you have the four basics, magician, fighter, cleric, thief, but each basic has like 3 or 4 subclasses to it.
Right.
The monk is really nice.
And his monk is different, isn't it? It's not an 8.
It's a cleric based monk.
Right.
I believe.
Is it more European style as opposed to
That's kind of
East
hard to
Asian?
tell. Well, then again, whatever race you're using, a man, I guess. But it's more that way. It's more that way. And when I first had my group play it, running it, my friend Carlos, the other GM, he said, "I can play a purloiner." And I said, "Do you know what a purloiner is?" "Yeah, right here. It's a cleric who is a cleric of the trickster gods." So I said, "Yeah, you can like bless somebody with one hand and pick their pocket with the other." And he loved it. Absolutely loved it. We
I'll
had
bet.
great games in the system.
Yeah.
And you Joe the lawyer, you want to argue with me about encounters, random encounters? I'll go toe to toe with you because we had some of the best random encounters in that game.
Yeah.
We had to, I hope we didn't get demonetized with this, but the player characters in their first adventure managed to circumcise. Cut, off a camel.
Yeah.
Because I rolled it. And it seems like that's the game where we always get the running gags. When they were on a ship going to where they needed to go, I rolled a random encounter. It said barbarian. So I put a barbarian on a log out there in the ocean. "Have you seen my mate?" or whatever. "No, we haven't." "All right, thank you." And he turned up more times in the next few games. Every time they were on a boat and stuff, I'd have him go out. "Oh, this time he's in a canoe. Now I kept, making the boats better."
Yeah.
He's still looking for his girl, So that's the kind of stuff I live for,
Yeah. Oh, well, and you've been gaming a while, right? You started in what, 1980?
Yep.
So.
Yep, as a player.
Well, you know what? I'd like to, if I may,
go ahead.
just interject. And you mentioned that you started playing 1980. Can you just give us kind of a brief background on how you got into gaming and your the top level?
That is funny. Okay. The time I got into it, I was married to my first wife, and I lived in San Jose, in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, Silicon Valley. And we saw a news article on D&D. I said, "Oh, that's kind of interesting." And I said, "Yeah, maybe I want to try that." Before that, we were living in the Chicago area, and my friend actually bought the box of the home set, and we didn't know what the hell it was.
Right.
And we were making fun of the names in there and stuff like that. And I thought about it, and then I saw this article when we were moved to San Jose, and then I forgot about it for a couple of months. And then my wife, who was going to San Jose City College, said, "That game you were talking about? I found some people at the student union that play it. You want to play it?" I said, "Sure." And next thing you know, I'm playing AD&D. I started with first edition AD&D.
Okay.
I didn't get to basic until like much, much later.
Yeah.
And so we played, and the first GM we had was this woman. It was this brother-sister duo who both played. The sister ran the game. He played in the game. So we played in their game. And she ran, I think, 2 to 3 sessions of AD&D. And then she said, "Okay, now we're going to play Gamma World from now on." And I spent like 2 years playing Gamma World because that's the game she wanted us to play. So I'm just glad I got started with D&D.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Did you say a sister? Because I was told that women didn't play D&D until just recently.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I mean, my wife is a gamer too, and supposedly she got started back when she was in high school or whatever. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I got in it late.
maybe shortly after, maybe early in college,
Mhm.
whatever. But we've been gaming together for just a short time, 25 years.
Oh, no, yeah.
Nothing. Yeah,
Oh, you're still a kid.
She just got into it.
You're still a kid.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it was. She did a pretty good job on the D&D, the Gamble World. I like playing post-apocalyptic now. I mean, I like Gamble World. I like to play Mutant Future. If
Sure.
you've ever heard of that.
No, I haven't tried that one.
Mutant Future is published by Goblinoid Games, the same people who published Labyrinth Lord.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And it's basically Gamble World using the BX system.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Labyrinth Lord is getting a lot of talk lately.
Mm-hmm.
Labyrinth Lord.
It's easy.
Dragon Slayer, which I've got back here behind.
Yeah, he just did put out a 2E of Labyrinth Lord. I'm probably not going to get it. But Mutant Future, I mean, he did a really good translation. What happened was, the whole brouhaha of like Osric, Labyrinth Lord, all those clones where they said you can't copyright a mechanic. So now they can do the clones. So he did the clone Labyrinth Lord, and he wanted to do Gamma World, but he couldn't because it's a different system. Right. And for some reason they wouldn't let him use it. So it's like, fine, I'll just transfer it to BX. Like what Mark did with Gangbusters. He translated that to BX, and it works great.
Well, I was getting ready to go into Gangbusters. You are a guru at Gangbusters, I hear.
That's what they tell me. Yeah. I'm the guy who run the Gangbusters games at North Texas. Well, at least I used to. This last year, somebody else run one too. And
you started a trend, huh?
They're thinking you're going to get mad. It's like, no. I want more people to run it.
Yeah.
It's great. And he did a really good job too. It took place in Chicago. He had it in Chicago, I think.
Right.
During and the players were baseball players during the Black Sox.
Well, the Black Sox, yeah. Well,
yeah. And it's like, I watched part of it because he wanted to ask me stuff about it. And I watched, I go, this is brilliant.
I may have heard of that whole scandal.
Well, let me ask a little more about that. So this is I'm not familiar with it. Is this a published game, Gangbusters?
Oh, yes.
Or is it
yes.
Okay. That's back in my day, we had a homebrew gangster-based game, which we really enjoyed. So what is this one? You said that the characters were Black Sox players.
Yeah.
But it is so the whole system is just kind of a 1920s, 30s setting that can. Okay, so it's focused on playing gangsters or playing
1920s role-playing adventure game, BX edition.
Okay.
You can play law, you can play crooks.
Okay.
I had a problem. I bought it way back when, but I couldn't get anybody to play it at the time.
Yeah.
But Gangbusters, I had a problem running it at first.
Yeah.
Because that was the first game I seen that was like anti-group.
Really?
So I designed my games around one group because, like in D&D, you've got your fighter, your thief, your whatever.
Right.
And you got they go down the dungeon, they do their thing, or they go in the wilderness, they do their thing, they fight people. Well, here you can have a table with like, one's a cop, one's a prohibition agent, one's a gangster, one's a newspaper guy. And I had to like, okay, how am I going to get these guys together at least to compare notes on what's going on? I couldn't get it in my head.
Yeah, I can see how that'd be very difficult to run.
No, you just gave me an idea, man, for Gangbusters.
What's that?
Well, I'll talk to you offline about it.
Good. I might need one for next year.
Because well, you know where I told you where I live, right?
Right.
I'm in East Tennessee.
Yes.
So
It's so funny. One of my favorite ones I have is called Shine on Harvest Moon. I'm using Rock Junction, which is the city that Mark came up with.
yeah,
And it's kind of akin to, I think of it as Kansas City, that kind of thing. Because they have Lakefront City, which is basically Chicago. And I've got a mob group in there called the Black Hand. And they're running rum like everybody else during this period of time. And they're constantly having a problem of getting booze because they got to buy it from the purple gang out of town. Yeah. And basically they're sticking it to them and they want to get their own supply. So I had like a couple of games where they tried to do that. One of them, they were trying to brew down the sewers. But this one Shine on Harvest Moon, somebody came up with the bright idea of going to Kentucky to the old moonshiners with the stills and contracting from them.
Yeah.
That's
not too far off.
Yeah, they wouldn't tell the purple gang because they don't want to keep their own money. So I had that going, and that was really fun. And I always every Gangbuster game, I always try and work in a car chase somewhere around the city and stuff. And this is where they were chasing them back to Kentucky.
How's the mechanics work for chases?
I wish I could tell you. I'm serious. I
need to get Mark on, don't I?
Yeah, there's a chase thing in there, but I haven't seen any good chase rules out of any game. So I tend to do the thing my own. I just run it like an encounter.
Okay.
The only difference is, when you roll for initiative, I usually do sides. One side rolls, the other side rolls, no individual during the chase. But before whatever side's going to move, I have the driver, because they have a driving save in the game, one of the 5 saves. Mm-hmm. And so I have the driver make a save to see if they don't crash the car or anything. And if they make it, okay, let's go with that. Also, I do things like if you're in the back of the car or trying to fire out the side, or you're trying to fire off the running board. First of all, running board, you're kind of minuses to hit. All of your minuses hit, but mostly from the running board. But if you're trying to fire out because you're in a moving car, I mean, both sides are like that, unless they're taking out like a Thompson submachine gun and like that.
The old Tommy guns with the snail canisters.
Oh yeah. And I usually have a D10 chart of things that happen if they missed their driving roll. It can go from like breaking a pane of glass or running into a fruit stand to wrapping the car around a light pole or something like that. It could end the chase really fast.
Well, around here you could easily run off the road and be down the way.
That's it. Down the ditch, roll the car. Yeah, let's do that. Oh boy.
Ditch.
Yeah.
we don't believe in shoulders here in Tennessee. Yeah, I can tell you that. You run off the road, you're better hope that something stops you. That tree breaks your descent in some cases.
There's one more scenario I came up with called the blowout. The blowout is the circus comes to Rock Junction.
Yeah. And
you have nice thing about the circus is you can go any direction with it. You can have multiple things happening, like the circus, maybe they're contracted to move the booze somewhere else or bring it in or things like that. And I had the climax in the prop tent for the clowns, where they were keeping some of the booze, and some of the clowns were actually mobsters dressed up as clowns who were packing. So I had a tiny car parked in the back of the tent, and I had a hole that went through the tent, in the back of the tent, like a flap that you can get into the other side of the car. So I had this thing where they were fighting people in the prop tent, and clowns kept coming out of the car with like rifles and some machine guns and stuff.
And
that was a lot of fun.
That it sounds pretty exciting. Keely Chow. Hey, Keely Chow. Good to have you on board.
Greetings, sir.
Yeah, coming into us from Hong Kong.
Whoa.
And my sympathies, by the way, Keely, on the game.
What happened?
Oh, he's a he's a Bama fan. So.
I see.
But that's okay. Yeah, I know. Sports ball. We already talked about sports ball.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm the guy. I'm the. If Mark isn't around, I'm the Gangbusters guy.
Yeah.
I think Mark went to North Texas once. Yeah, once. I roomed with him. But putting into BX, I can run BX, in my sleep. I know that system so well. There's really nothing to it. So that was kind of brilliant the way he did it.
Yeah.
He's also got another game which I like, called Tall Tales, which is BX Westerns.
Okay.
And he's known to he runs that too at the cons.
So how does the Western, is the Western system kind of built along the same lines, or what system is it based on?
It's BX.
Is it BX?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I want to suggest a game company to you that I don't think gets as much publicity or that kind of thing out there. Have you ever heard of Night Owl Workshop?
I have not.
Okay. They make these little, but they look like, the 3 books from original D&D.
Right.
They look like that. But they basically take the white box rules and say, what if Gary and Dave did this genre instead? So they have a white box version of Guardians, which is superheroes. They have Raiders of the Lost Artifacts, which is pulp. And my favorite, which is Freebooters, which are pirates. They also have one where they took it and did John Carter, Princess of Mars, with it.
Okay. This is their website here.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's some new stuff they have out.
Yeah, Norse and Celtic.
Oh yeah, they do some pretty good monster books too. Now, Guardians is the superhero. Warriors of the Red Planet is the John Carter type. Colonial Troopers and Starship Troopers.
Okay.
Freebooters, pirates.
There's the Raiders, yeah.
And pulp, and those beast. They have 2 Beasties books that are really good monster books.
He's got some new stuff coming.
Yes, he does.
Valkyria and Tarnus.
Gunslinger, that's new. Nice.
These are in development, so
yeah. But if you get a hold of those, they're a lot of fun, and they really do their research. Way back when I used to do a show with Eric and can't remember his name, but we did a review of Freebooters, and you look through it, and they've researched piracy to the nth degree. It was almost like reading a textbook or something like that, or an encyclopedia. They really did their good. And it wasn't boring. It was really good stuff in there. Same thing with like Raiders. I said, well, okay, 1920s or 30s, what's going on in the world? And they talk about that. They talk about the bad guys you could fight, on and on and on like that. So they're really well researched.
I like the art. The art is really good.
Yeah, they have really nice art.
Wow.
And they give you, because they're following white box template. So you get like 4 classes, and then in the appendix you get an additional class, an optional class. For instance, like freebooters, you get 4 types of sailors and pirates, and then in the appendix you get like a Haitian witch doctor, if you want to go that route.
Right.
You know, I can't remember what they call them, book or something like that, but you know, and then they give you some spells and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got some really nice stuff. Okay. I don't mean to take over your show, but
Nope. Go ahead.
I was going to cover a little bit about what Wizard Tower Games is doing besides my book.
Absolutely. You were reading my mind.
Yeah, well, they have. He's kind of like he's still that using a third-party printer has kind of slowed him down, trying to clean up the mess and replace his equipment and all that.
Right.
So he's got a he's got a fantasy game coming out. Can't remember the name of it, but he's also going to do a role-playing game based on Peaky Blinders. If you know that show.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember what else he has going. And believe it or not, Dick Tracy.
Huh. Okay.
Which I'm all for. I like Dick Tracy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're into the whole detective, anything that's detective genre.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Although I played Newspaperman in that game before. But yeah, those are the things he's gotten going on right now. Hopefully by the first of the year. He's also, I should say we, because I'm part of this too. We also, after the first of the year, we should have a role-playing game magazine coming out, a zine. And I forget the name of it right now. But Peaky Blinders, and I don't know about Dick Tracy, but the magazine, I will be editing it.
Oh, okay.
So
you're gonna have some even more.
Yeah, I've got some skin. I've got some skin in the game.
Tack on a few things to your.
Yeah. I mean, I told he's got me to do editing and going over doing the editor thing where typos and all, going through the whole thing. Yeah, I really know my stuff, don't I?
Yeah, you've been you kind of got your you got some stuff all over the place here.
Oh, not as much as Don does. Man, he's got so many irons in the fire. It's unbelievable. Because he also does stuff like he makes movie props.
Oh, that's right. I did hear about that.
I mean, I just saw his R2-D2 that he posted. It looked beautiful.
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful. It's like, if you don't get sued by Lucas, I will be surprised.
No, Luke, that's the one thing that Lucasfilm and even going back to George Lucas, they it's all PR for them. The more people that are trying to do stuff, make stuff.
This is true, but now they're owned by Disney.
Well, yeah. I mean, as much as some of us really don't like a particular executive president of Lucasfilm,
yep.
I do have to give her credit for one thing, and that was trying to, when they were looking for droids for the movies, they actually did reach out to the maker community that is involved in that. So
nice.
I mean, if there's one redeeming quality about her, that would be probably about it.
Some of my favorite movies are Zemeckis, the Back to the Future trilogy, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Every time I see your name come up at the beginning, I go, oh.
Yeah. Well, the rights for Roger Rabbit have been captured. Yeah, they've reverted back to the originator. So I think it
was Disney saying we're not going to do anything with them. Get them back.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a. I think somebody said it's like the 35-year rule or something like that.
Yeah.
That if they don't act on something within a certain period of time, that So there supposedly is some Roger Rabbit stuff in the works. So
that's why Warren Beatty still has the Dick Tracy license.
yeah. Let me ask you, because I did see in your little bio that it says TOON. Since we're talking cartoons, what is TOON?
TOON is the cartoon role-playing game by Steve Jackson Games.
I have.
Oh yeah, that's been around for a long time.
Wow.
I still have a copy of it.
Do you?
My friend, who's you've seen on live stream for Doc Cross.
Yeah.
I know him. He's in California, and he's up in the Bay Area, and he's written TOON supplements that they published. And every year I used to go to DundraCon there, and every year on Friday he run a TOON game, and I always try and get in his TOON game because he loves it. He does such a good job on that game.
Yeah.
I have yet to run anything.
TOON or KAM is as bad as me in trying to collect every game that piques his interest.
I'm pretty much stopped. I mean, between collecting and people, when I used to review on YouTube,
yeah,
I get people sending me stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, between that and my DVD and Blu-ray collection, I better stop one of them.
Yeah. Well.
And so I stopped the book thing.
Yeah.
So,
hey, I'm not above anybody sending me stuff. How about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I always say I can be bought.
Yeah.
I stopped the RPG buying for a long period of years, replaced it with board games, and now I'm back on the RPG thing. So,
I think I've contributed to that.
Yeah, you're part of the problem.
See, my wife doesn't game, nor is she interested in gaming, nor does deep down inside she tolerates it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she's from here.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, buckle of the Bible Belt, and the satanic panic dies hard in some people.
It does. It does. And a lot of us lived through it. I mean, I think all three of us.
Yeah, I did not, because I was in California.
Oh, so it never really
didn't reach out there.
Really, even like the peak when it was on 60 Minutes and all that
Yeah.
stuff?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
Mazes and Monsters. No.
I mean, yeah, they broadcast it, but I mean, we didn't have any mad about Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just no one cared.
Yeah. It was like, it's California, But yeah, she tolerates that. She tolerates me going to a convention every year. And so when I collected all my stuff, here's the funny thing. When I first moved here 25 years ago,
mm-hmm.
I had a whole bunch of Judges Guild back there,
right,
and 2 rule books for 3rd edition. That's all I had. I never used them. Then I got on Save or Die, a regular on Save or Die.
Yeah.
And I found half-price books. I started buying them, and she's like, so I kept saying, research. It's research. Okay, it's research. That's what I always claimed. It's all research. Or people.
That's what I keep telling my wife. I need these books because I need them as a resource. So when I run the games, now my wife does play, so it's just, so when I'm running the game, I've
got at least a dozen systems I could run, but I always thought, well, it's just something I could read in my old age, sitting by the fire, got my game book and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This one is the one, I mean, yeah, I can run all those, but this is the one I want to really run now, is Index Card RPG. This is a great system.
I have thought about picking that up. KAM had,
ditto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it myself.
So it's funny. I sold Don on it on one of the shows.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, I ordered it. He ordered it from drive-thru. That was like 2 months ago. And he hasn't got it yet. I don't know what's going on with them. But
is that from Runehammer? I think it's Runehammer, isn't it?
Yeah, Runehammer. Go to Runehammer and buy it. He'll send it out. This is like $45 because I got the hardback, but I think it's not 20 for the softback or something like that.
Yeah.
But this is a beautiful system. It's got the best GM section I've ever seen in a game. How to make adventures and such.
Yeah. He's got. I think he just came out with the Crown and Skull.
Yeah, Crown and Skull, Hard Shell.
Yeah.
Viking Death Squad. I don't know if they're all based on the same system, but and people are putting other genres out for it. I found a post-apocalyptic one a while back.
Yeah.
Because my friend Jason, he loves post-apoc. I mean, he likes Gamma World and all that. He loves Morrow Project. Remember Morrow Project?
Why does that sounds familiar?
It was post.
No, I.
Is that?
I've not heard of that.
It's an old post-apocalyptic game where you play. See, to me, it was too militaristic because you're supposed to be in a squad of army that wakes up like 200 years in the future or something like that and find people who are surviving and all that kind of stuff.
Is it Morrow Project?
Morrow.
Morrow Project, yeah. Created by Kevin Dockery, Robert Sadler, and Richard Ticola. It was published by Timeline. The last edition was released in 2013. So.
Mm-hmm. But he's all about that. I said, I don't really care about that, but if you ever run like Gamma World or Mutant Future or something else, shut up, dog.
just no electric collars there.
Yeah. She'd probably yell more.
We don't want to pull a piker. So have you tried any of the Shadow Dark or Shadow Dark variant stuff yet?
I have Shadow Dark. I bought it when I was in North Texas last time. Because I ran one of my Gangbusters games and this guy came up. I love this game. Here, take this. And he gave me a book that had it was a supplement for it. He says, you can use this in anything. It's for Shadow Dark. And then I looked and I go, I really should get the game.
Yeah.
So I bought the game. You want my honest opinion?
Sure.
I like it. But I don't see anything fantastic about it.
Okay.
I mean, the whole thing about, the torches and all this stuff. Well, that's nice, but what people think it's like, the second coming of role-playing games or something.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give Kelsey some major props though.
I do. I give her that too.
She hit at the right time. The OGL fiasco was going on with WotC, and she'd already been in development with this. She was about ready to kick off the Kickstarter,
right.
And it just it's that whole convergence of events. Out. Yeah. WotC keeps shooting themselves in the foot, and you've got Dragon Slayer from Gillespie. You've got, of course, I went ahead and went in on the Shadow Dark Kickstarter when it launched, and I went ahead on the more recent one for the was it Western Reaches, I think is what it's called, or something like that. But I've gone in on a couple of the Kickstarters for that stuff, and I have to give her major credit. My package looked like it had gotten run into by a forklift.
Ooh.
And it was she said, yeah, just send me a picture or whatever, and I'll get another one out to you. She's like, which book is it? And I could, I'm an honest guy. I could have said, because I had the special edition as well as the regular, right? I went all in, and I just no, it's just the regular hardback, the black, the black one with the silver printing on it on the cover. and I had a new one within a few days. She
Wow.
replaced
Yeah.
it. So
Well, see, I'm kind of I've not played it. I've read through the basics, the material, you know, the whatever the free stuff is available to preview and everything, and I was left kind of the same thing. I'm like, I'm not sure what this is offering that doesn't already exist.
Yeah.
That said, producing a good product that people want
mhm,
and succeeding like that, I love to see it. You know, I
right.
love people succeeding. So even though it might not be for me, I mean, if somebody said, "Hey, you want to play it?" I'd be like, "Sure," but it's just not something I would necessarily seek out because I have so many other options.
Right.
So it's not that I think it's bad in any way. It's just I'm not sure why it hooked so many people, but it did, and good for her, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, and a lot of people have hitched to that wagon. I'm in a game with Chubby Funster, Greg
Mhm.
Christopher, and his Shadow Rim book, and he had written a lot of stuff for, you know, like, you know, fifth edition OSR stuff, and you know, I think he saw that 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 glimmer, and he's like, you know, and he chased after it, and more power to him, man. This game, the Shadow Rim game, which is based off of Kelsey's Shadow Dark, it's been modified to fit in his world that's unique. To you know, it's got some unique properties. It's basically similar to Skyrim. It's kind of a Skyrim
Mhm.
type based game. Um, and it's been fun so far. I've had a blast. Combats aren't too bad, you know. They don't drag forever and ever and ever like they do, you know. And I don't know if it's because everybody that's playing the game is a seasoned, you know, a veteran player or you know, DM, you know.
Right.
Maybe it's because they're not telling you their backstory about how important and special they are between every attack.
That's true. um, I just, you know, but I get what you're saying, you know. And there's a lot of things. I almost wonder if we haven't reached saturation on systems, um, and we need more focus on settings and that type of thing, you know. There's a whole lot of different stuff that's already out there. Not saying that everything that's been going to be invented has been, you know, and not every system that could potentially happen has been already created. But there's a lot of similarities between a lot of different systems, you
Right.
know. So,
Right.
but that different realms and different, you know, like you've got with your with your setting. Are any plans on maybe doing a setting book?
Uh, Don's going to have to really talk me into it.
Yeah.
um, I'm still trying to get notes right now and trying to figure out what I'm going to do for my second book.
I was going to ask you what's the second book all about. I can't wait to.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm having a little bit of a crisis with that.
Are
But
you are you going to continue on? You think with the detective?
yeah,
You know.
I mean, I think there's a lot of things to explore with that. I'm thinking of doing something with undead the next book.
There you go. That would be interesting.
I'm just trying to get that through line. That's why I'm watching a lot of film noirs, because it's like I've got all these stuff I want to do, but I need a through line. I need,
Yeah.
you know,
Something's
how's
got
this
to hit
happen?
your fancy.
Because I do not want to be a flash in the pan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I did this on a bet and I wasn't really thinking about what I was doing while I was going. But it's like 50,000 words. There it is.
Yeah.
And now I got to think about it. And so it scares me a little.
Well, and I've got the QR code here off to this side here. No, that side there. There it is. Whatever. And that will take you to the web store, the Amazon. Now you did say right now it's available in Amazon already. Barnes and Noble and
TOON, I haven't seen it up there yet.
but
Don's been keep me
okay.
Let me know about that.
Yeah, and I should be getting my copy Tuesday or Wednesday. So,
okay.
So I did order it. I jumped in, and
thank you.
And anybody else, hey man, give them a shot. It's not expensive. It's well priced. I think it was $10.99.
$10.99.
Yeah, I mean, come on, something else to add to your collection. Quick, fairly quick read.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, maybe a day or so.
Yeah. Eric says I drag you through the story. And that just means it's going like a bat out of hell. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what reminds me of? Do you remember back in the day? I'm talking about the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
When Chaosium would publish those Cthulhu fiction books.
Yeah.
And they were about $10.
Yeah.
I picked up like 2 or 3 of them. They were pretty good. And I thought that was a really good value. And they weren't any bigger than, that one.
Right.
A couple hundred pages. And, if I can keep this going, I'm going to keep it going.
Well, I definitely wish you a lot of success. I mean, that it's, I'm looking forward to reading it. And I'm looking forward to hopefully playing in a game of yours at some point here.
That'd be fun. Be fun.
Yeah.
Like I told my wife, if this succeeds, I'm actually going to have a real job for once in 25 years.
There you go.
Yeah, we're on Social Security right now.
Yeah.
And,
now you're going to be at North Texas.
I will be at North Texas in June, but in April I will be at WizardCon.
And WizardCon's up in
Battle
Creek.
Battle
Okay.
Creek.
And where is North Texas at?
That is in. It's in the Dallas area.
Is it? Okay.
Dallas is kind of like a bit like Southern California. A whole bunch of you have Dallas and Fort Worth and a whole bunch of suburbs around. Technically it's Irving, Texas.
Oh, okay.
It's right near the airport.
Yeah, I know people that live there.
Yeah, it's the Wyndham.
Okay, so that's going to be at the Wyndham. What about that's going to be the Wyndham in Irving, is North Texas, and WizardCon.
WizardCon, I believe, is in a Holiday Inn in Battle Creek. Okay. Battle Creek, Kalamazoo / I don't know. I got to find a plane out there because I'll be a special guest star, and we're going to have about a dozen people who are special guests.
Yeah, and you're going to be signing books.
Of course.
There you go.
If Don brings the books, I will be signing them, which means I got to start now to improve my penmanship.
Well, hey,
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And get a wrist brace too.
A wrist brace. Yeah.
Just no auto pens. Oh, man.
Once again, I wanted to. Here's something interesting to talk about. Writing an adventure versus writing a book.
How does it?
How does it? Have you ever? You two got that's a stupid question, but have you guys ever written anything? I mean, either game wise or non-game wise.
I wrote a script for a Star Trek episode a long time ago.
Okay, so
you got you and Jason, huh?
Yeah, back when that was permissible.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before this book, like I said, I've written adventures.
Right.
I did read a couple. I've written a melodrama for a melodrama house way back when, and that was fun. But I'm just thinking about the differences. When you're sitting down and trying to come up with a game, your own game, not a module or anything.
Right.
It can be a lot harder, but a lot easier.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have the players
Right.
making the decisions, so you have to. I guess you would have to prep a lot more for the what if they do this or what if they do that.
Well, let me back up. When you're writing a novel or a novel, whatever, everything's there. You know what your characters are going to do. You know what the NPCs are going to do. You know where the story's going.
Right.
When you're writing an adventure for a group, you've got to take one part of that and pull it out.
Right.
You'll have NPCs, you'll have locations, you'll have some kind of plot if they follow the plot, but that's okay. But you don't have your main characters.
Only in Mr. Analog Man Cave's Joe the Lawyers. Then you don't have a choice. You're kind of going to do what he wants to do.
I hate real worlding.
I love Joe though. Joe is such a good guy.
But like I said, you get the main characters pulled out.
Yeah.
Which, when you're writing an adventure, some people who have written things like short stories and this like that, they can't get used to it. I've seen it. It's like, how do you write these? And it's like, look, you got to learn to let go. This is one of the biggest things that a GM has to learn is to let go. Mm-hmm. Because I don't even call them plots anymore. I don't remember. Like frameworks.
Frameworks. That's a good.
You've got a lead story. The story's going that way. Okay. You tell them what it's a tennis game.
Right.
You lob the situation, they lob the response.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, back and forth. What you have to do is create situations. Now, there's nothing wrong with having in your mind, okay, here's the end result. It may get there somehow. But as far as a GM goes, it never gets there the way I think it's going to get there. But I learned over time that's okay. Everybody's having fun. That includes me. You have
exactly. That's the thing right there. That's an excellent point, because it's, if you have a game master, somebody who's like, well, this is my story and I got to wedge people into it, it could become frustrating and everything. And then they also know the end. If you're doing it the way you're talking about, or emergent, storytelling and all that, it's like even the GM is surprised, right, by what it ends up as.
Yeah, GMing is like a delicate balance almost.
Right.
Because you can't go in to say, they're going to do this and I'm going to force them to do this. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you can't go, well, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? You got to have some kind of plan going in. But that plan has to be very, very flexible. Yes, you can say, if they do this, this happens. If they do that, that happens. But they will do the third thing. But that's okay. That's my job. That keeps me on my toes. This is what they pay me for. Yeah, right. But that's the attitude, to me, you got to take. Because at the end of the day, you're sitting there with a bunch of players having fun. You guys are making the story. I tell people that I use a board game analogy. The player characters are the pieces. The GM is the board.
Yeah.
And
yeah, very much so.
Yeah. For some reason, I've said that on other shows and I've gotten flack for it. Where people go, well, no,
you're setting the stage, but the you're playing all the, you're playing some of the characters, but the leading roles are the players.
Yeah, say you have Second City or those guys. It's a lot of it is improv. It really is.
Yeah,
especially on their part.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Robin Williams. He would just improv. Mm-hmm. There's a few actors that are really, really good historically at just going crazy with the improv.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? And that's you know, a good DM has to be able to improv on the fly, because no matter what you plan for, if you plan for your players to zig, they're gonna zag.
Yeah.
You expect them to zag, they're gonna zig. And if you plan for both of those, they're not gonna do either one of those. They're gonna do something that you never even came close to thinking
Exactly.
of.
And you know, I've gotten to the point in my life, my GMing gotten to the point in my life where I love that. I absolutely love it.
That's what I love about being a DM or GM or
Yeah.
castle keeper or whatever, is it keeps me, you know, I love playing. Don't get me wrong, I love playing as a player, but I really love running a game, because you got all these moving pieces and it's such a challenge and it fully engages you.
And they will provoke me to do something more than I would do.
Yes.
Like that game that Hyperborea game when they were in the desert, and I said, I rolled up something with a camel, and it was at night, and they were saying, you guys aren't getting any sleep because this one male camel's going at it with the female camels, and it's all this noise, and they're going, we got to do something about this. So they go out there and basically the male camel, because next thing I know, they're going out there and the magic users are going, okay, sleep. Okay, who's got a knife?
Yeah.
And it's like, I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. It is absolutely, that's just, it just gets me excited.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's I was afraid for years to DM. I'm like, oh man, I could never do that. I could never do that. And it just like anything, you know, I never thought I could speak in public, or I was very, kind of focused, because I wasn't born with people skills. I had to learn.
Right.
That was not instinct for me. I know, like a lot of people, my wife, that's instinct for her.
Oh yeah.
For me,
I know.
it was a whole. Had I never worked in a theme park, had I never worked, I worked for Universal back in Orlando, a couple of times actually, and I was in their IT department. But you're still out there on the car, out there
out in the park,
half the time. And before that, I got to push a button on Spider-Man. So it's like that one, you're right there with the guests all the time. You got to be theming, you got to be that experience, just and it's like, oh well, yeah, I can DM, and then when I did the first time, it was because the guy that had always been DMing, he was like, man, I really, really, really miss playing. I really want to play. And so I'm like, all right, well, let me try. And I found a module and I started running it. And of course, that's where I learned that first lesson. You plan for them to do that. And I literally took the book and I went, beep, and threw it over my head behind me.
Go.
I said, all right, I guess we're going to do this on the fly.
Yeah, there's nothing like it,
right?
Really,
Yeah. I fell in love with it.
Yeah, you say, like, you have the story's going to go this way, but you say the story might go this way. This is the way I'd like it to go.
Yeah.
But then you have to remove that and say, if it doesn't, anything I plan, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I can just put it aside for something else.
Right.
You still got it.
Yeah.
And you just use it that way. For instance, and there are some scenarios that have a straight line. It always bugs me. I always feel like I don't want to railroad people, but it always kind of bugs me when I do a linear adventure.
Yeah.
But that's a challenge to me again. Okay, this is going to happen at the end. And they're going to tell me how it's going to happen.
Okay.
And we will see what happens.
Yeah. Certain events are going to happen no matter what no matter what, there's a clock, and at some point, this event is going to
And the
happen, and
thing
that's
is,
going
you
to
got, you don't block anything off they can't do. And if it happens, and when it happens. But
right.
I'm living for the reaction I get out of them.
Yeah.
I'm really living for it. It's just, God, if I had to actually stop and think about what I'm doing when I'm GMing, I'd probably be scared away.
Yeah.
And also, I found out for prep,
Mm-hmm.
I prep and prep and prep, and I try. What was it? The Professor Dungeon Master said, just prep for the next session. That's it. Keep in mind what you want to do with it, but just that session. And he's right, because people will prep and go all over the place, stuff they'll never use.
Right.
And so I prep and prep. I give myself so much time to prep, and then I say, no matter where I am, okay, I'm done. No more. And then I bring it to the table.
Speaking of the
because
clock,
otherwise I will be prepping forever.
Yeah. Speaking of these timed events, Cam has another show he's got to get ready for
Yes, he
here
does.
very shortly.
Yes,
and that's going to be our buddy Sci-Fi Snobs channel. Cam is the co-host of the Top Lofty Lounge. Why don't you talk about that for a minute, Cam?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Well, tonight we're having a topic. We're famous for being very late on topics, but I believe we're going to be talking about the new episode of Space King that dropped yesterday. And if we have time, we're going to be talking a little bit about Planet of the Apes timelines, so the combination between the older films and the new ones. We had a viewing party, a review of the original Planet of the Apes from 1968, a week or so ago. So tune in for that if you'd like. And Glenn, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, you too, Cam. And thanks for having me on.
Sure.
I appreciate you helping me out here, Cam, and look forward to seeing the show. You're doing the Advent calendar things too?
Yes. Oh, that's true. Yeah, we also have strangely enough, we have a tool segment sometimes on the Top Lofty Lounge, and there's been there's a tool company, a German tool company called Wera Tools that puts out an Advent calendar every year. So I've been doing openings on that, and we're going to be doing the first week review of that. So if you enjoy tools, tune in for that as well.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Cam, thank you very much. Glenn, it was a pleasure having you on here. And we will talk again. I think we're gonna try and get you on with Jason from Sci-Fi for Me TV this week if we can.
Okay.
There's a couple of days. I know Jason has got a couple of things planned. I think he's got Wednesday already planned. He's working on something for Thursday, but probably either Tuesday or Friday, whichever one.
Yeah, and that's daytime.
That's daytime. Yeah, I'm the night guy. I work. I'm the late night guy. But Jason is normally on noon Central or 1 o'clock my time. Monday through Friday, not necessarily every day, but he does. He talks topics. Sci-fi, fantasy, movies, television. Whatever's
all over the place.
Yeah, everything in the nerddom.
That's why I go up on tangents all the time on the show. So yeah.
And I see Flint Fireforge. I know him. Hey man, how you doing, Flint? Thanks for checking us out.
I forgot that for some reason my chat left, so it was nice. Yeah, Flint, how you doing?
Yep. I can bring up the chat. I can't have the chat and the QR code. This QR code is a QR code that does take you right straight to the Amazon link. And you can go ahead and order your copy and get it coming to you. And
great Christmas gift.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've already got one. I guess I bought myself a Christmas.
Oh, and also, you probably heard us mention this on the last week's show. Eric Tenkar does the 12 Days of OSR Christmas every year.
Oh, does he?
Donate things and he gives them away. He has a contest. he'll pick names for like 12 Days of Christmas and send them stuff.
Right.
And there's going to be a couple of copies of my book this time that he'll be giving away.
All right. So be sure to pick up Glen's book. It's got us stuck at the top here. Cam did have to dip out, but
That's okay.
He's got to go. He's got to go prep for that show. So Snob is going to be taking over on that on his channel. That's Sci-Fi Snob. You should be able to find it. I dropped a link in the chat. Anybody that's into sci-fi, they're going to go ahead and discuss some great stuff. Glen, it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
If you don't mind sticking around, we'll chat a little bit after the show.
Sure.
I'm going to go ahead and kick this outro.
For folks, buy my book. Good night.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you.